On this day in 1989, Chinese tanks and soldiers under the direct command of the communist dictatorship attacked thousands of pro-democracy students who had gathered in Tiananmen Square in the heart of Beijing. Tiananmen means heavenly peaceful gate, but of course it was just another communist slaughterhouse that day. According to the British Embassy, at least 10,000 people were murdered that day. This man was the symbol of that day for many, at least to the West. A brave young man literally standing in front of a column of tanks and staring them down. What an inspiration. Except, of course, it didn't work. Maybe it worked for a moment, to be caught on tape, but the thing about passive resistance that Gandhi used to such powerful effect against the British Empire in India is that it only works against an enemy whose values you're appealing to, an enemy that's pretty gentle. So in the case of the British Empire, values like fair play, the rule of law, limited government, civil society, nonpartisan police and the military, and of course a free media to document it all. That's the only way Gandhi could have won. Hitler or Stalin would have just shot anyone trying Gandhi's tactics, and no one would have even seen it. No media would have covered it. If they did, they'd be shot too. So that young man in Tiananmen Square surely died. It was a brave moment, but just a moment. And after some huffing and puffing, well, the world moved on. After all, China was opening up its economy, and there was plenty of people who wanted to make a buck or 2 billion, including Canada's own Jean Chrétien. He was Prime Minister from 1993 to 2003. He loved China. He led Team Canada trade missions to China. His family are huge investors in China. His son-in-law is a senior executive at Power Corporation, a massive Chinese company. Weeks after he finished being Prime Minister, he went to work for China in China. I'm talking about Jean Chrétien. That was the way. Just too much money. And by the time the 2008 Olympics rolled around, China was ready to once and for all whitewash itself. I mean, wasn't it proof that it was fully welcome in the family of nations? There were boycotts of the Nazi Olympics in Berlin in 1936. There were boycotts of the Soviet Olympics in Moscow in 1980, but everyone was there for China's debut, weren't they? Tiananmen what? Well, China learned a thing or two. I mean, ask John Cena, the wrestler and actor who dared to say Taiwan was a country. Oh my God, listen to this blubbering apology.
你好，中国，这是叫西呢。我必须说，现在，在《速度与激情》中，我做很多采访，很多，所以在一个采访，我有一个错误，所有人问我，如果我可以用中文，速度与激情中人给我很多资讯 information， 所以很多采访，很多 information， 我有一个错误，我必须说现在就是很重要，我爱更尊重中国跟中国人，我很抱歉对我的错误，对不起，我很抱歉，你必须了解，我很爱，很尊重中国跟中国人，不好意思，再见。
That's pure fear. Fear of losing big endorsement deals and big money and big box office hits in China. The biggest NBA basketball stars, they smear America as a racist jail every day, but boy, they bend the knee to China. Even as China sets up concentration camp-style compounds for their Uyghur Muslim minority in Xinjiang province. There's no doubt about that. It's not just a rumor or a myth. It's ethnic cleansing of Muslims on a massive scale, but no one cares. The opposite. Disney filmed part of their big movie Mulan literally in Xinjiang province, near those concentration camps, work camps. And they actually gave a thank you to the Xinjiang secret police in their movie credits. Nike and Coca-Cola, very woke companies, they actually lobbied against a U.S. bill that would address the Uyghur genocide and crack down on doing commerce in Xinjiang. Nike and Coca-Cola just love money too much. You didn't believe their ads, did you? That's where we are today. And literally today, on the anniversary of Tiananmen Square, look at this. In English, from one of China's propaganda websites, this one's called Global Times, published on Twitter, which is banned in China, by the way. Here's a tweet from Global Times. Tiananmen Square embodies Chinese people's confidence in China's politics. The Chinese public's understanding of June 4th incident has fundamentally changed. We laugh at those posturing commemorative activities orchestrated by outside forces. They're laughing. They just said they're laughing. Now, they've always laughed, but just in private until recently. In public, maybe they were ashamed or at least pretended to be, but now they know they don't have to pretend. If they can get John Cena to blubber like that and Nike, the brand of Black Lives Matter, the brand of Colin Kaepernick, if they can get the Take a Knee guy to support Xinjiang, to lobby for genocide commerce, why not laugh? That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.